By the time I was 8, I had experienced things that I had no business experiencing as a child. It was only until I was in primary 5 that we then had these those senior lady conversations. I remember they would always say girls in P5, P6 and P7 were having this senior lady, those girl talk things. And in these conversations, the things that they were talking about us avoiding, I had already experienced. And I remember in those meetings feeling so much shame, so much guilt, so much pain. I didn't even know where to start. Like, I honestly had no idea. And so then I get to high school, and now these conversations around sexuality and etc are being spoken about more openly. People talk about different things, and for you just there like, okay. Now as a teenager, I remember I began acting out. I honestly don't think I was a very rebellious teenager. I don't think I was, but there was a phase that I had where I was very, very notorious, and at time my mom used to fight all the time, like all the time. I literally hated the woman. I don't even know what it was. And then eventually I then get to sit down with her, and she asked me like, what's actually going on? So I told her I needed to talk to her, and that's when I told her my experiences of that time. And I told her I feel pain, I feel guilt, I feel shame, I feel very angry. I feel like someone took something from me without my permission, and now it's something that is being held as like a symbol or whatever it is, and for me I feel like robbed. So we had a long conversation. Long story short, my mom and I became best friends. We trauma bonded because she eventually, so many things were spoken, so many tears were shed, so many things, and eventually we sat down and we began to share. And she also told me her experiences. There's some she said I can't tell you because you're still too young. I don't know if she remembers, but yes, we did have like very lengthy conversations, and now we became much kinder to each other, Anyway, so this is a conversation that I found very hard to have, because I know how people perceive these kinds of things. These are things that are supposed to be not spoken about. But I also realized that now, number one, for me, despite all of this, I didn't suffer the consequences that some girls got to suffer. Because I remember the first time I spoke about it with a friend of mine, I was like just talking about it, and I was like having a moment of being like having a confidant. And she told me she was much younger, and someone defiled her with a knife. Like, he had a knife, and he told her, if you ever speak about this, I'm going to kill you. In my head, I was like, oh my God. I don't know why, but her pain made me feel seen. And then I remember also having a conversation with another person who, for her, she was defiled on several occasions by an uncle that she was staying with. She got badly infected, and in addition to that, she also got HIV, which she has to still take drugs for to this day. And there are others who abort and then die during the abortion processes, lose their uterus. There are others who you find become mothers, and she has to drop out of school to take care of her child. There are others who you find their experiences are so much, 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 much worse. And I realized that for me to decide to not tell you or share this is a very big disservice, not only to myself, but even to the younger girls at Look, because I think that, I don't know, probably from some people's reactions or some people's experiences or responses to me, I think that I'm a person that is influential to a certain degree, maybe to a certain group of people. And if this is something that I survived and I can share and tell you what it is that is actually on ground, that over 70% of girls have experiences of these kinds of traumas from when they were children. Now, after that time, I remember I would still have there were so many men, you'd find so many men still trying to tell you things, touching you in a weird way. But now I was much more assertive with myself. I was more assertive because I knew this is not something that I want. This is not something that I need. This is not something. So I would be very quick to my God, I would be so harsh. I was, I was so harsh. Like I would be someone, no. Like I became so jealous and so selfish with my body in that there is no way you would have access to it. How? But that was after me getting a proper understanding of what is actually happening. So when I share these things, because I've reached a certain place now, I was in school, I never got the bad consequences that other girls have experienced. Like, for example, some people actually get mentally ill proper, some get infected, some get pregnant, some drop out of school, some, like, you know, so many things happen for so many people, and they stay in a place of shame and guilt for the rest of their lives. Some commit suicide, some die. Okay? For me to share this is for me to tell you that we need to be able to do better as parents, because now we know better. We know better. Like, sit down with your child and talk to them. There are policies that are set on national levels that I think tend to undermine the degree of the problem. Because we can't just be talking about abstinence. You can't just be talking about, you know, things that as if you're kind of being blind to the fact that we have so many girls that are being teenage moms. We have so many girls that are infected. We have so many people that are sick. We have so many of these situations that are happening. We cannot pretend to not know that and just be talking about particular things, like be in particular sections like we're being delusional. It's not helpful. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is teach your children early. I'm going to release the next video on Wednesday, which I'm going to talk about the different ways that you can be able to teach your children that are age appropriate for different age groups. I mean, as soon as a child is able to comprehend, you have to fix this information in their head, because we are living in an era where you cannot pretend to think your child doesn't know. These children know so many things. Try. Let me tell you. So yes, that's what I'm trying to do. I want us to be very ahead. I'm sorry the video is very long, but I want us to be able to teach our children better because we know better. And this comes for both the fathers and the mothers. We need to protect our children better because we know better. You cannot afford to let the world teach your child for you. And that is it for today. Class dismissed.